ओके एंड पहला फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट तो ये सेकंड आई वुड रियली रिकमेंड कि थैंकफुली मेरे एक सीनियर ने मेरे को ये चीज़ बता दिया था आई फॉलोड इट एंड इट रियली हेल्प सो आप डे वन से लेके क्या क्या काम कर रहे हो हर दिन जस्ट कीप अ नोट ऑफ इट नॉट रियली एक्सटेंसिव जस्ट ऑन अ ब्रीफ पॉइंट बिकॉज क्या होता है कि इन द एंड
So, hi everyone, welcome to Placements Ready. Today we are having Abhishek Bhaiya with us, who is working at Amazon as a software development engineer. Right. So we will get to know about how he prepared for Amazon and how he converted his 6 months intern offer to a full-time offer, like how easy or difficult it was for him. And we will get to know everything. So stay till the end of the video and you will get to know each and everything, right? So yeah, Bhaiya, please give a brief intro about yourself.
hi everyone so this is Abhishek. So I did my BTech in computer science from Paytm Ashram. So basically K17 to K21 batch. And so basically I received internship, 6-month internship in September 20, I guess. And then my internship started in January. And by the time it ended in July, I got a PPO. So yeah, that's more. Yeah.
So like, we will like to know how you prepared for Amazon and what things you did, which websites on you practice upon, and all that things.
Yeah, sure. As far as you know, Amazon basically asks for DSA only, as far as I know. And you don't need to prepare, I guess, the system design questions and all. And also, if you have decent projects, I guess it's okay. But most probably they won't ask for your resume. But what I'm saying is my interview, right? So they might ask in your case. So I'm not sure though. So as far as my experience was, so I basically prepared DSA. So as far as I remember, I prepared mainly from Geeks for Geeks. So there was one course there, DSA self-paced. So it was a very good course. There was all the modules and it started from the very basic, like what are asymptotic notations, what is time complexity, and it went all over to the high level, like segment trees and all. Okay. So yeah, I basically read the theory there and practiced the questions as well. And apart from that, I also practiced the various questions on lead code. So lead code is also a must, like you should definitely do it. There are some set of questions like top 100 interview questions and all. So that though you should definitely do. And I guess the DSA was mostly it.
So like guys, you can see DSA is much more important than any other topic if you talk about product-based companies. So like, Bhaiya, brief about your interview experience.
Yeah, sure. So mine was basically an on-campus offer, right? So I think first was the normal round where they do the screening basically. So you have to appear for an online test, right? And they contain all sort of questions. I remember there were two questions basically. I don't remember what exactly they were, but I think they were based on maps and one was based on hashing, I guess, right?
Okay.
So those were the two questions. And apart from that, you also have a question where they test that whether you are suitable for the Amazon workplace, right? What we call it, I don't remember the term for it. I think it's called
Leadership
um,
skills, I think it was.
yeah, leaderships is there, but there's a term for that. Culture fit, right? Culture fit test. So they give you a lot of options, right? I mean, to test that what you will do in a particular situation, right? So if I ask you, if I give an example, it was like basically like they will give you two options. So suppose one was whether you are you like doing things one at a time or you are multitasking, right? So, and they will ask you the same questions multiple times in a like a twisted way. So just remember that stick to what you are like. Many a times you will feel like the option that I am going with might not be fit for my selection at Amazon, right? Like suppose they ask you ki, are you able to handle too much pressure? So if you are really able to handle too much pressure, you say yes. But if you are not able to do that, just say no. It's not that if you say that I can't tolerate much pressure, then they won't choose you. But they will ask you that same question at a later stage in a twisted manner. So the question will be same, but suppose, but if you are faking it, right, so as to match the culture fit for Amazon, then it's probable that you will not be get selected, right? So suppose one at one place you said that yeah, I can tolerate the pressure, and the same question came in some other twisted way, and there you selected some other option which does not align with your initial answer. So it's like they will kind of know ki you are faking it, you are not being your original self, right? So the hack for that is simply ki, just stick to who you are. I mean, don't fake it. So yeah, that's it. And that was the screening round, right? The online test basically. So the results came after that. I guess around 28 or 30 guys, I think, got selected. And then we had I think two sets of interviews, and there was no HR round. So in off campus, I guess they take HR rounds as well, but on our on campus interview, there were simply one screening test, the online test, and they were followed by two round of interviews, right? So the first interview, um, I guess in the first interview, basically two questions were asked, and that was conducted on basically Amazon Chime only, which is its native platform which they use for communicating. So when you will join Amazon, then also they'll use Chime only, like extensively. So the questions, as far as I remember, one was array based and one was hashing based, right? So yeah, and like I think it was total duration was 1 hour, right? And for the first question, I think it took me around 40 minutes to solve it. And for the second one, like I had solved a similar one, so it didn't took me much time, right? So that took around 20 minutes. And for the first one, I wrote the whole code, and for the second one, I think I just wrote a kind of pseudocode. Okay, so like that also depends on the interviewer. Like he might tell you to write a code that properly compiles, or like they might ask you to simply write a code that which you can which they will ask you to dry run and kind of go through all the corner cases, right? So in both of my interviews, if even the second round as well, they didn't tell me to like compile the code. So it was basically like dry running all the corner cases, right? So yeah, that was it. And so yeah, I was able to solve both of them. And she was like, okay, just your interview is done, so just wait and until you get a call for the second round if you get selected. So I was like, okay, okay. And I think over an hour or two, I got the call for the second interview, right? And the second interview was obviously hard. I mean, the from what I noticed that even the interviewer was kind of an comparatively senior guy compared to the first one, the first interview, because the way he asked the questions, the corner cases he gave, so that was obvious that he's comparatively he was more I mean more experienced and a senior guy, right? So for the second round, I think the questions were first was based on tree and the second was based on graph. So yeah, like you can see like the in the first round they ask arrays and hashing and all, but in the second round they were completely into yeah, trees and graphs only. So
So
yeah.
yeah.
So I'll say ki don't just go and spit out the exact I mean the most optimal solution even if you know it. So the interviewer will kind of get an idea that maybe you have just mugged up all the things, right? So don't do that. I mean, even if you know, just be calm. Don't be too excited. So like go with the basic one, like explain him ki yeah, this I can go with this approach. and then like bit by bit go to the most optimal solution. Okay, and even if you are stuck somewhere, like make sure to ask him, like they don't mind. I mean, uh, it's even better. So suppose you are stuck somewhere, and you ask for a hint, they give you the hint, and if you are able to solve in that situation, so then the interviewer gets an idea that you are able to solve it impromptu, right? Like you didn't have any idea, but I gave you the hint and you were able to solve it. So that makes a very good impression. So never fence in, like asking if you are stuck anywhere. Like even if you have heard the question for the first time, like you let's say you didn't solve any of that question or any similar one before, like just tell him that this is kind of new for me, just give me a hint, so I'll try optimizing it, or yeah, that way.
Like,
So
yeah,
if you are able to solve it that way, then so it's a definite like plus point.
yeah,
And
they are
it
more
is also
concerned.
said,
They are more concerned
yeah,
about
go
the
on, go on.
thinking process, right? And
Hmm,
not just like you know the solution and you are able to code it.
right.
So, like moving on, we will be talking about the internship experience, like everything about it, how difficult it was for him to like convert that intern offer to a full-time offer, right? So, like भैया सबसे पहला क्वेश्चन हमारे पास ये है कि कोई भी like is there any choice in which domain you want to work?
I don't think so.
Like, okay, so
Because like it might be the case if you go for an off campus, because there they might give you the preference that they might give you that, yeah, this is the tech stack that we'll be working on. But since in what happened in my case, that they didn't tell me that what the tech stack or anything like would be. Okay, so just they took the interview, the results came, and the team allocation process is completely random as far as I know.
okay, okay.
So you can't say beforehand that which tech stack you will work on, or I don't think there is a proper way of choosing the work stream, or like telling your preference.
Okay, so like okay, एक बार टीम असाइन हो गया, उसके बाद
Mhm.
प्रोजेक्ट्स पे लाइक गाइडेंस वगैरह चाहिए हो तो कैसे मिलता था वो?
I'll tell you. So जैसे ही आप ज्वाइन करते हैं स्टार्टिंग में, आपकी डे वन, तो उस टाइम आपको बस मैनेजर वगैरह जो है वो आपको कांटेक्ट करेंगे एंड आपका सेटअप वगैरह में बेसिकली हेल्प करेंगे. सो वो सिक्योरिटी कीज एंड ऑल होती है, वो सब आपको बताएंगे कैसे सेटअप करना एंड ऑल. ठीक है. एंड एंड जो ट्रेनिंग्स होती है यूजुअली वो मतलब मॉड्यूल्स बने रहते हैं. सो आपको मतलब अलग से एज सच किसी के अंडर ट्रेनिंग नहीं लेना, इन पर्सन ट्रेनिंग नहीं होती वो. आपको लाइक सेल्फ पहले से लाइक सेल्फ रिकॉर्डेड वीडियोस पहले से रहते हैं, प्री कंपाइल्ड वीडियोस, तो बस आप वो देखो. एंड जैसे कि हेयर वी हैव वन BT 101 करके एक ट्रेनिंग वीडियो, not training video exactly, it's a complete course, so it will guide you from the whole process, like what Amazon does, like what are the basic things, I mean, what the work step that they follow for testing, for pushing the code, the CI/CD, how it works and all. So yeah, that's how. And regarding the project, so after your initial ramp up, so if you ask me, just say I joined on 18th Jan. So guys, I think I got my project and all after, I guess, 15 days. Okay. So it depends team to team. Like they might give you a longer time to ramp up, or they might even give you short time. Like they might even tell you ki, like let's start from maybe a week later after you join. So it depends on how fast you complete your that pre-compiled trainings and all.
Okay, so like मैं पूछना चाहूंगा वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस कैसा था एज एन इंटर्न?
Mm, yeah, see, that depends on a lot of factors, not just the company. I mean, it is obviously team dependent as well, because some teams, like the teams that own tier one services, right? So they will be obviously more, the things will be more hectic there, because they'll be getting more number of tickets, and the operational load will be more. But as I said, like it depends team to team. And since you can't say ki which team I'll go to, nor can you give any preference. So it's completely random. So you might go to a team where the workload is more. You might go to somewhere where the workload is less. And also, um, just not that, it also depends on how you take the pressure, right? I mean, suppose you got a project in which you are which the tech stack, you are completely like, you have a I mean, what do you say, you have a kind of you have worked with that tech stack right before. Let's say I worked on React and I got a project in React only. So obviously I'll be more the pressure won't be that much because it's not completely new to me, right? So yeah, that's it. That's and I think one more factor is like, which happened with me was that I didn't have any other offer at that time. So the only thing that I had in mind was to get that internship converted into PPO, right? So yeah, so for me pressure was a bit much. But like suppose for anyone else, suppose that person has some offers as well, and he also got an Amazon intern. So yeah, I don't think he'll be in that pressure that that what if he doesn't get the PPO, right? Because he
Yeah.
has other offers. So there are a lot of factors in play. You can't just say कि मतलब Amazon ही है जो इतना work कराता है and all. So again, matlab, it's my opinion, and depends on team to team. Like I said, na, like there are some teams here which own tier one. So there are basically services like tier one services, tier two services. So the tier one services, I guess, for that, most tickets are received because they are really important, right? So Amazon can't really, what do you say, ki, they can't say कि they can't बी लाइक ठीक है टियर वन सर्विस मेरा चल रहा है एंड हम लोग चल रहे हैं, ऐसा नहीं कर सकते यार. दे हैव टू बी वेरी कॉन्शियस की मतलब अगर कुछ वैसा बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट सर्विस नहीं है देन तो ठीक है. मतलब इट माइट बी कि एक दिन बाद भी वो टिकट सॉल्व होगा तो चलेगा. बट अगर कुछ बहुत प्रोमिनेंट सर्विस है तो लाइक या इट शुड बी सॉल्व दैट डे ओनली. तो उस केस में मतलब थोड़ा सा वो बढ़ जाता. Then we have this thing at called on call at Amazon, right? Which people are really fearful about. Like I was too. So what on call thing is that in on call, so ऐसे समझ सकते हैं कि suppose you have a service running. Let's say let's take an example. Mm, mm, mm. Let's say, yeah, let's say your team works for the let's say selection thing, right? So selection as in ki they help the sellers and vendors upload their new products on Amazon, right? That's the selection thing, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, as you can see, this is a really important service, right? And suppose the a bug comes in your service that doesn't allow the vendors or sellers to like uh, upload their products on Amazon in an easy way, right? Like suppose there's a bug there that yeah, let's say ki what do you say, let's take an example. So just take any example, right? So suppose there's this vendor and he's facing a constant issue that let's say whenever he uploads image of his product for the inventory, the image like let's say it crashes or it comes down, right? Like it doesn't get uploaded. So that's a really a big issue for that. Like if it can't upload the image of the product, then how can he expect ki my product will go on the Amazon page, right? So in that case, if there is a bug with your selection service, so you might get a ticket, right? So tickets are kind of saying that a person like asks your team to look into a problem which that might be concerned with your service, right? So what on-call is does is that, so on-call is basically a person who is in charge of solving the tickets, right? So like I said, we took the example of that selection service, right? So suppose a vendor was not able to upload the pics of his image that he want to get up on Amazon, right? So so he might send you a ticket, or another team might send you a ticket that saying that, hey, this particular vendor is not able to kind of upload his image for the inventory, right? And so just look into it. So the person who is the on call, so he'll have to like take a look at the tickets and he'll have to decide कि मतलब कैसे solve करना है उसको, कैसे वो ठीक होगा. Okay, so that's basically on call. Sometimes it happens कि even अगर बहुत ऐसा prominent service है and कुछ बहुत बड़ा bug आ गया, तो हो सकता है कि आपको मतलब weekends में भी काम करना पड़े, but it's not usual. मतलब ऐसा जल्दी नहीं होता है, ठीक है? Again, depends on team to team, depends on मतलब कैसा service है, depends on कैसा bug आया, and bugs तो you know कि मतलब कभी भी आ सकते हैं, you can never predict कि क्या है. तो वो चीज होता. एंड यूजुअली मतलब जितने लोग रहते हैं टीम में, तो दे आर काइंड ऑफ रिवॉल्व. मतलब किसी को, या लेट्स से ऐसा कि अगर 4 लोग हैं टीम में, तो वीक बाय वीक मतलब लोग को असाइन होता है ऑन कॉल, ठीक है। सो हाँ ठीक है, कभी कभी ऑन कॉल वाला थोड़ा सा हेक्टिक हो जाता है, लाइक इन माय इंटर्न टीम। सो द ऑन कॉल लोड वाज सिग्निफिकेंट क्योंकि आवर सर्विस वाज प्राइसिंग बेस्ड, राइट? सो yeah, so our the service that we controlled, so that kind of was responsible for that exactly, I guess that was responsible for merging the workflows. So we were basically unifying, like how we do the price computation and all, right? So as you can see that it's a really prominent service, right? And it Amazon can't really uh, what do you say, they can't really टेक इट कि मतलब प्राइसिंग सर्विस ये बंद हो गया, ठीक है। सो देयरफॉर हम लोग में की टीम में लाइक बहुत सारे लाइक टिकट काफी आते थे, एंड ऑन कॉल पे लाइक थोड़ा सा लोड रहता था काफी। सो अगेन लाइक आई सेड, इट डिपेंड्स ऑन टीम टू टीम, डिपेंड्स ऑन ऑपरेशनल लोड, कितना प्रोमिनेंट सर्विस आपका एंड ऑल। तो बस वही चीज है यार। बट हाँ एक चीज है कि मतलब मैनेजर्स आर रियली हेल्पफुल, and you will like once you join, you will be assigned two persons. One will be your onboarding buddy who will help you with the setups and all, and one will be your mentor. So mentor is what will guide you through your project, right? Sometimes it happens that both are same, but usually both are different person. Like for me, one of the SD ones in the team was my onboarding buddy. So he helped me like throughout my internship whenever I came across any stuff I couldn't understand, or something was really new for me, or some bug that kept coming, it was repetitive and I couldn't solve it. So yeah, he was always there for me. And the mentor, that was an SD2 at that time. And yeah, like he helped me whenever I had some doubts with my projects. He used to explain me कि मतलब क्या expectations है, क्या use cases है, क्या क्या corner cases है जो तुमको ध्यान रखना है and all. So yeah, that's all.
सो लाइक भैया लास्ट का दो क्वेश्चंस है कि लाइक बहुत कम लोग होते हैं जो कन्वर्ट कर पाते हैं इंटर्न को
Mhm,
फुल टाइम में। सो
mhm.
लाइक अगर लेट्स से they are getting selected as an intern, so how to increase the chances of conversion, and what are the criteria on which
Mhm.
they are getting judged?
Right. Yeah, that's a very important question, and I'd really like to answer it because, like, I struggle with that too. So I'd like others to know really. So yeah. So first of all, let me tell you a few of the things that you must do before your Amazon internship starts. Like if it's for software role, right? So like the prominent language that they use here is Java. So if you are, I mean, uh, like if you have a hang of Java, and there are these design patterns, right? So आई थिंक जावा हो गया, डिजाइन पैटर्न्स हो गया, एंड थोड़ा बहुत AWS का अगर नॉलेज है, तो अगर ये तीन चीज है देन आई थिंक यू मतलब आपका इंटर्नशिप एक्सपीरियंस स्मूथ रहेगा। क्योंकि जैसे कि मेरा जो अभी टीम है, इंटर्नशिप वाली टीम, इंटर्नशिप टीम में मेरा जावा था, एंड अभी तो लाइक मेरे फुल टाइम में टीम चेंज हो गई। सो यहाँ पे भी लाइक जावा है। सो कहने का मतलब ऑन एन एवरेज इफ यू सी कि जावा इज प्रोमिनेंट एट Amazon, सो मतलब देयर इज अ हाई चांस कि अगर आप किसी टीम में जा रहे हो तो मोस्ट प्रोबेबली लाइक यू विल गेट प्रोजेक्ट बेस्ड ऑन जावा। वो हो गया। देन देयर आर डिजाइन पैटर्न्स होते हैं, ठीक है, जैसे फैक्ट्री पैटर्न होता, फिर आपका डिपेंडेंसी इंजेक्शन एंड ऑल होता। सो वो सब अगर आपको आइडिया है तो मतलब लाइक इट रियली हेल्प्स। एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट इट्स प्रेफरेबल कि अगर आप कुछ AWS का कोर्स यूज करके आए हो देन तो मतलब बहुत अच्छा होगा। लाइक मैंने नहीं किया था AWS का कोई कोर्स पहले। सो yeah, so like it took me time to ramp up on AWS services because यहाँ दे यूज AWS सर्विसेज एक्सटेंसिवली, लाइक लैम्डा हो गए, DynamoDB, ये सब मतलब बहुत ज्यादा यूज होता है। सो मतलब या अगर आप तो बेसिकली तीन चीज हो गए, राइट? सबसे पहला आपका मतलब जावा अगर आपको आता है अच्छे से, लाइक इट्स वेल एंड गुड। उसके बाद डिजाइन पैटर्न्स हो गए, एंड एक ये आपका AWS। आई थिंक ये तीन चीज अगर आपको आ रहा है, एंड ऑब्वियसली DSA, एंड DSA आपकी अच्छी हो गई अगर आप सेलेक्ट हो रहे हो तो। सो या मेनली यही तीन चीज। सो ये तो हो गया लाइक प्री रिक्विजिट्स। अगर आप पहले से, इवन इफ ये तीन चीज आप नहीं भी करके जा रहे हो देन भी आपको अच्छा टाइम खास मिलेगा। मतलब 2 मंथ्स में आई कांट से कि आपको बहुत टाइम मिलेगा, बट 6 मंथ्स में यू विल गेट एनफ टाइम टू रैंप अप, राइट? एंड ये तो चलो प्री रिक्विजिट्स हो गए। इवन इफ आप ये नहीं भी करके जाते हो स्टिल मतलब यू विल गेट सफिशिएंट टाइम टू रैंप अप ऑन दिस, ठीक है। लाइक ऑनेस्टली मैंने नहीं किया था इन तीनों में से कुछ ज्यादा। मतलब आई हैड माई बैकग्राउंड इन जावास्क्रिप्ट, लाइक ये वेब डेव साइट, सो आई डिडंट रियली नो जावा उतना ज्यादा। एंड डिजाइन पैटर्न्स एंड एबल्स वगैरह मेरे को बहुत नहीं आते थे, बट आई हैड टू रैम्प अप. सो अगर आप वो पहले करके जा रहे हो तो इट विल डेफिनेटली बी अ प्लस पॉइंट, लाइक आई कैन गारंटी. उसके बाद आते हैं कि इंटर्नशिप में आपको क्या क्या ध्यान रखना. सो लाइक फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट थिंग तो मतलब कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स. मतलब इवन इफ जो भी आपके साथ चल रहा, आप अपने लाइक आपके सो यू विल हैव योर वन ऑन वन मीटिंग्स विथ योर मैनेजर. इट माइट बी वीकली, इट माइट बी मंथली, इट माइट बी बाई मंथली. ओके. So whatever problems you are facing, whatever you are going through, your manager, your buddy, your mentor, at least not even if not your mentor, if not your buddy, at least your mentor must know. Like even if not your manager, your mentor must know, because in the end, what happens, like there's a voting system, right? That whether the guy should be kept for further offer, like whether he should go to the PPO or not. So basically all your team members vote for you, your mentor does, your manager does, right? So we'll come to that later. But कहने का मतलब ये था कि you should have a proper communication with everyone. Like even if आपका बहुत अच्छा काम चल रहा है, even if आपको नहीं भी आपसे काम हो पा रहा, तो you should be बिल्कुल open and expressive कि मेरे से नहीं हो रहा, आप मेरे को बताओ ये चीज कैसे होगा ये. ओके. एंड पहला फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट तो ये. सेकंड, आई वुड रियली रिकमेंड कि मतलब थैंकफुली मेरे एक सीनियर ने मेरे को ये चीज बता दिया था. आई फॉलोड इट एंड आई इट रियली हेल्प. सो आप डे वन से लेके क्या क्या काम कर रहे हो हर दिन, जस्ट कीप अ नोट ऑफ इट, नॉट रियली एक्सटेंसिव, जस्ट ऑन अ ब्रीफ पॉइंट. बिकॉज क्या होता है कि इन द एंड यू नीड टू लाइक फिल अ डॉक विच दे से विच दे कॉल इट इंटर्न सेल्फ रिव्यू, राइट? सो देयर यू नीड टू मेंशन कि मतलब आपने क्या प्रोजेक्ट्स किया, फिर आपने कौन कौन से ऐसा कुछ स्पेशल डेटा स्ट्रक्चर्स या आपने कोई कुछ स्पेशल सा एल्गोरिदम इम्प्लीमेंट किया एंड ऑल. सो मतलब एंड दे आस्क फॉर डेटा कि मतलब लेट्स से आपने कोई फीचर इम्प्लीमेंट किया तो उससे लाइक क्या बेनिफिट हुआ अमेजोन को, या होता है कहते हैं ना कि मतलब क्वांटिफाइड एवरीथिंग यू राइट इन दैट डॉक. ठीक है. सो ये हो गया. सो हाँ, सो मैं ये बोल रहा था कि अगर इफ यू मतलब फ्रॉम डे वन इफ यू कीप जस्ट अ शॉर्ट नोट ऑफ लाइक टुडे आई डिड दिस लाइक मैं तो इवन ये भी लिखता था कि मतलब मेरे को इस चीज में डाउट आया एंड मैंने इस बंदे से कांटेक्ट किया एंड उसने ये बोला मेरे को. मतलब इवन लाइक आई यूज्ड टू कीप इट अ बिट एक्सटेंसिव, बट इट डजंट नीड टू बी दैट डिटेल्ड. ठीक है. बस आप ब्रीफ पॉइंट्स रखना सो दैट जब आपका इंटर्न एंड हो तो आपको आपके पास एक वो रहे कि मतलब यहाँ ठीक है, मतलब यू कैन लुक एट दैट एंड यू कैन से कि हाँ ठीक है, मतलब जैन से लेट्स अगर जैन में स्टार्ट हो रहा है आपका 6 मंथ, जो कि जैन ही में स्टार्ट होता. सो अगर कि जैन से लेके मार्च 18 तक मैंने इस प्रोजेक्ट पे काम किया, लेट्स से 5 डेज इसके टेस्टिंग में गए एंड लेट्स से बाकी दिन में इस पे काम किया, तो मतलब वो सब अगर आपके पास डेटा रहता ना, एंड अगर आप वो डेटा ये सब भी मेंशन करते हैं इसमें, तो मतलब इट काइंड ऑफ इम्प्रूव्स द क्वालिटी ऑफ योर सेल्फ रिव्यू, राइट? तो ये मतलब ये चीज तो मस्ट है कि आपको फॉलो करना ही चाहिए कि जस्ट कीप अ लाइक जॉट डाउन एवरीथिंग यू डू एवरी डे. ठीक है. एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट ये चीज हो गया. हाँ, आपके जो वन ऑन वंस होंगे मैनेजर के साथ उसमें एंड इवन विथ योर मेंटर, मतलब कीप आस्किंग देम, लाइक आस्क अ लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चन, लाइक कीप आस्किंग देम कि मतलब व्हाट आर योर एक्सपेक्टेशंस फ्रॉम मी, लाइक एम आई परफॉर्मिंग गुड एनफ, हाउ कैन आई improve. Like don't hesitate in asking those questions. Like I ask them a lot. So sometimes तो they even said कि मतलब you don't have to be so self conscious, just like do your work, don't worry about all that. But I was like नहीं नहीं मतलब like if you think कि मतलब I can ये I can improve on something on some criteria or maybe if there is some expectation that I'm not living up to, मतलब please tell me. So I was like that. So मतलब अगर आप वैसे करोगे तो it really helps. Apart from that अब ऐसा भी होता है कि बहुत बार आपको बस एक प्रोजेक्ट मिलता है, बहुत बार होता है आपको मल्टीपल छोटे छोटे प्रोजेक्ट्स मिलते हैं, फिर टेस्टिंग वगैरह भी सबका रहता. सो जैसे कि मेरे को एक ही प्रोजेक्ट यूजुअली मिला था. आई मीन वो थोड़ा बड़ा था. सो मेरा था कि मतलब एपीआईज डिजाइन करना था, काइंड ऑफ वही हम लोग का प्राइसिंग वाला वर्क था. ओके. सो वी नीडेड टू डिजाइन सम एपीआईज, लाइक उनका हाई लेवल लो लेवल डिजाइन वगैरह कैसे ऑप्टिमाइज होगा. देन ये भी था कि उसमें कौन सा आपको एडब्ल्यूएस सर्विस यूज करना, सो थोड़ा सा डिजाइनिंग एंड स्टफ भी था. एंड देन उसका लाइक प्रॉपर यूनिट टेस्टिंग, प्रॉपर एंड टू एंड टेस्टिंग, तो लाइक इतने में मेरा आई थिंक 5 and 5.5 months एंड हो गए थे. एंड इन द लास्ट आई गॉट एन अनदर प्रोजेक्ट, लाइक आई थिंक मेरे आई थिंक अराउंड 20 days बचे थे उस टाइम तक, मेरा ये वाइंड अप हो गया था. सो वी आई गॉट दैट अदर प्रोजेक्ट. तो सिंस दैट प्रोजेक्ट वाज आई मीन अ बिट हार्ड बिकॉज उसमें बहुत ज्यादा डिजाइन डिसीजंस थे. ठीक है. एंड also I didn't have much time, so I couldn't really complete all of that. So I mean, I just prepared a doc and writing down my opinions after doing all the research, that's the pros and cons. Like we can do, like if we choose this service for our design, then these are the advantages. If you choose that, then these are the advantages. So I mean to say that you need not complete all your projects up to 100%. I mean, just have fun in what you do, and I mean just I mean learn a lot from what you get, because it will be a really good experience. I mean you will get to learn a lot, but the exposure is literally too much, literally.
Okay, so yeah, like so last thing, any
Mhm.
suggestions from your side to our audience who is watching this video?
Okay, so I guess if you're watching this video, then you might be preparing for giving a shot at Amazon interviews, or maybe for some other similar product-based company. So what I would like to say is the best thing, I mean, the most important thing is DSA, like no doubt. And if you have like also work on a bit of projects in your college, like the advantage will be that the projects will reflect on the resumes. Also, you will have an idea of how to use Git and GitHub. And yeah, I mean, in other product companies though, I think they ask for your projects and all, and also system design and all. But as far as my experience went, they just asked the DSA for Amazon specific. So yeah, I just say कि मतलब keep DSA at your like number one priority. And for DSA, just you can you can learn things on. I mean, for reading part, you can go for Geeks for Gigs, and you can also learn stuff at this Hacker Earth Code Monk. So they also have very good theory. So you can read all the, like, the data structures, algorithms are there. Then how to calculate time complexities and all for all those. So yeah, you can read all those there. And for practice, तो I'll say मतलब आग बंद करके ये लीड कोड, मतलब लिटरली लीड कोड हैज एवरीथिंग, मतलब आप वो तो मतलब मस्ट है, लीड कोड डेफिनेटली सॉल्व करो. एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट और क्या बचे, अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट आप प्रोजेक्ट्स बना सकते हैं. अगर आपको वेब डेव में इंटरेस्ट है तो आप कुछ, अगर इफ यू हैव सम प्रोजेक्ट्स वेब बेस्ड तो ठीक है. अगर इफ एमएल में इंटरेस्ट है देन आल्सो गुड. आई मीन कोई भी प्रोजेक्ट्स, सी व्हाट हैपेंस इज दैट वंस आप इंडस्ट्री में आते हो, सो एज फार एज आई नो कि इट डजेंट रियली मैटर कि आप किस प्रोजेक्ट्स पे काम किए, राइट? बिकॉज because they might assign you anything, and it might have nothing to do with what you did in college. ठीक है, बस अगर आप प्रोजेक्ट्स दिखा रहे हो उनको, so they'll just know कि हाँ ठीक है, मतलब he explores a bit, मतलब एक अच्छी इंप्रेशन बनती है, राइट? एंड हाँ, बहुत जगह ये भी होता है कि आप जो टेक स्टैक पे काम कर रहे हैं, एंड इफ यू आर रियली कॉन्फिडेंट अबाउट, यू कैन से कि मेरे को इस टेक स्टैक पे ही चाहिए. एंड अगर वैसा हो जाए देन तो इट्स रियली गुड, मतलब आपके
So
लिए नया नहीं रहेगा जब आप काम स्टार्ट करोगे.
yeah, guys, so thank you bhaiya for having a good time with us, and you shared a lot of things with our audience. So thanks a lot for your experience.
Yeah, and one last thing I forgot to say, कि there are leadership principles, right? So there are, I think, around 14 leadership principles. So and they keep on adding. So
Okay.
it's not really a fixed number as such. So you can read about that, I think, on Amazon's like if you search for Amazon's interview leadership principles and all, you can really get a good articles on that. So that's also really important. Like go through them before your interviews and all. Like if you apply for the interviews, then also you get a link in the email that that you go through these leadership principles and all. But these leadership principles are really, I mean, what they say, well, they look for these qualities in you, because when you write your self review, you need to justify like which leadership quality you demonstrated and how, like so exactly. So if you have this already in mind, so it's like you know what I need to do so that my chances of getting the PPO increases, right? So it's like you will do your projects, you will approach your projects keeping in mind that you have to demonstrate these leadership principles. So yeah, keep that in mind, so it's really necessary.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
apart from that तो मतलब just I all the best and
thank you
just
bhaiya.
हाँ, चलो welcome.